You said earlier that the cartel is stronger today than before. Why do you say that? Why do you say the cartel is stronger today than before? Because we have access to better technology. There is better ways to do surveillance. Why do you think the cartel is stronger today than before?
Because in the old days when Ernesto Fonseca Carrillo was running the cartels, he had very strict rules. There was no intervention allowed with the regular citizens of Mexico. If they killed anybody that was not part of other cartel network without a reason, that was death to those guys. In other words, he had a federation. He would have meetings with them and say, "Okay, what's going on? I'm not going to allow any disorder. I'm not going to allow any violence. And no, you're not going to kidnap people. You're not going to extort money from people." That was not allowed by Fonseca. He had strict control and rules. The cartels now, they extort from the citizens. They pick up girls and rape them. They're out of control. Look at what they just did last year to the LeBron family, the Mormons that were massacred November the 5th, 2019, that were traveling to Mexico to a wedding. There was no grown men in that group. There was 13 women and children. And the cartel were mad at the LeBron because they had not been paying extortion monies every month. They had refused to. And this was done to basically instill fear in them and bring them into line so that they could be extorted. They were so vicious that after shooting the 9 women and children, there was 3 babies left in baby chairs, and they lit fire to the cars and burnt those babies to death. Oh, gosh. And that would never have happened during the Guadalajara cartel days. The old man would have not permitted that. And now they're out of control.
Ernesto Fonseca, is he kind of like the Lucky Luciano of the Italian mob? Is that kind of a way of putting it, where he was a chairman, he kind of led all the families together?
Absolutely. He was the jefe de jefes. He ruled with an iron fist. He issued the different plazas or areas where everybody was going to be working. He had the Arellanos in Tijuana. He had Juan Garcia Abrego in Texas. He doled out the different areas. And everybody was working under his command. Everybody was working underneath him. It wasn't until after, like I said, we destroyed the Guadalajara cartel that all these little cartels started springing up all over the place, and they started warring with each other. And that's why it's worse now than it ever was back in 1985.
You think it'll ever settle down? You think it'll ever calm down?
Never.
Why do you say never?
Until we intervene.
And what does we mean? We as United States, or we as the Mexican government?
As a matter of fact, President Trump offered to send SEALs, Army Rangers into Mexico to deal with the cartels once for all after the Lebanon murders there in Sonora. And López Obrador would have nothing to do with it.
Who wouldn't have nothing to do with it?
The president of Mexico. He said that he didn't want a war with the cartels, that he was going to solve the drug problem with abrazos, not balazos, with hugs, not bullets.
That's what he really said that. Trump. He said that.
He said that to President Trump, yes.
He's going to solve it with hugs, not weapons.
Yes, without bullets. Balazos means bullets in Spanish.
Balazos means bullets. Wow. Right. I mean, it's tough to, when somebody's using bullets and you want to go hug them, you're probably going to have having a bullet in your back when you do that. You know, it's a different kind of a war you're fighting. So are you saying, so you said the only way it'll happen is if we help them, America. So maybe it's not America. Maybe it's a different kind of a leader that Mexico needs to have that's willing to cooperate with America. So what is the chances of Mexico having a president that's willing to cooperate with U.S.?
You know, it's hard because drugs, they corrupt people. I mean, look at the money that Peña Nieto got, for instance, from El Chapo Guzman. It came out during the trial, it was exposed. There was plenty of testimony that he was given $250 million. And that wasn't enough for Peña Nieto. He wanted more money. And let me tell you another thing. who do you think funds the campaigns for these guys that come in, like the
Sure.
new president? If the cartels funded
Yeah.
Lopez Obrador, he had tried to win the presidency before, and it wasn't until he partnered up with the biggest narco politico in Mexico, Manuel Bartlett Diaz. He brokered the arrangement between the cartels and Lopez Obrador's political party, and that is really why the reason he's a president. He's been holding to these guys.
I specifically remember that article that came out on how much money was being paid to win power over the political power over by the cartel. I remember that article. I don't know if it was a Wall Street Journal article, but I remember vividly reading that article.